Hi, my name is Clara Diez and I work with artisan cheese. Today we are at my home in Madrid with the Parisian Vibe team. We are setting up a cheese table for dinner with friends. This is something you can do at home as well. You don't need to be a big connoisseur or expert to make it right. Actually, cheese shouldn't be a difficult thing at all, although I want to tell you some tips that can be useful to make sure you get the most out of it. Cheese was born as a preservation product to avoid milk spoilage. It is a product linked to the beginning of societies and has been part of culture since the Neolithic. For this reason, I think we should consider it as a product that belonged to all of us in a way, and not as something complicated or difficult to handle, but purely enjoyable. Cheese is the result of the art of living of different societies throughout history, actually. If there is one thing I would like to highlight from this episode, it is that a good artisanal cheese can elevate any table. It is a chic and refined product, full of elegance and nuances, but most importantly, it gives us a chance to bring craftsmanship to the table in a very uncomplicated way. My landing in this universe was purely accidental. I started working with an artisan cheesemaker when I was 22 years old. It's been already 10 years from that. It feels like a lifetime, really. I was really shocked to discover how many layers of value are hidden behind the cheese-making process. It is not only a product that has a huge gastronomic value, but also it's part of each culture, the landscapes, the identity of the different societies, because it is the result of how each region has interpreted milk and therefore speaks a lot about human being and their interaction with their environment. In 2020, I founded my company Formaje with my husband Adrian. At Formaje, we bring together a selection of the best artisan cheeses in the world, or at least the best that we know. We work directly with each of our producers. We know them personally. They are like family to us. We have a great relationship with them. And aesthetics play a fundamental role in our company, in Formaje, because that helps us to transmit the elevated character of the cheeses we work with and that we offer. That they are all made and selected with so much love and purpose overall. Food can be considered art to the extent that it moves those who interact with it. But food is beautiful in its own right. However, we haven't always looked at it that way. I believe that a fundamental part of my work is to highlight the underlying beauty of cheese and all its layers of meaning. And one way of doing it is to present it on the table with a sensitive eye, with care and with the refinement that such a valuable product deserves. I think beauty is something we are all attracted to because it enhances our quality of life. As human beings, we are made to appreciate it, I think. When preparing your cheese selection, it is important to consider all the different types. One way to do this is on the basis of textures. The big families are fresh cheese, lactic cheeses, which are very common in France, let's say Sainte-Maure or Valençay, for example. Then creamy cheeses, hard cheeses, and blue cheeses. This would be a way of encapsulating almost all the existing types. For today's selection, since it's summer and it's quite hot in the city, we prefer lighter cheeses. I have put a special emphasis on fresh and young cheeses, such as goat cheeses or a traditional mozzarella, which by the way has nothing to do with the industrial version. This is also a tip for when you prepare your selection. Think of what feels good to tune into the season. Something that most people don't know about is that cheese is actually seasonal. So depending on the animal's feed, they have grazed or not, the weather, milk changes with the season, and that's why some cheeses are produced on certain months. So ask your cheesemonger what's in season. To complete the range of textures, I have also brought some cheeses that are a must in Spain. such as Sabel, a blue cheese made in the north of Spain in Galicia, or Manchego, which is the icon of Spanish cheese, of course. And now, what about the etiquette of cheese? Is there certain rules we need to follow? I don't think so, but there are some tips you should always have in mind. One of them it is that it is important to always keep the rind on artisanal cheeses, as it is natural and adds many nuances. The reason why we normally remove it is because in industrial cheeses there might be some artificial additives, but it's not the case with the artisan versions. Then, when cutting the cheese, always cut from the center outwards, including the rind. This will allow you to appreciate the full range of flavors, which change as you get closer to the rind because the moisture decreases. What about pairings? Well, I tend to keep it simple, so I usually just bring a good sourdough baguette to the table and nothing else, so cheese can be the center of attention. However, if you want to add something else, there are some pairings that always work, such as figs, grapes, pears, walnuts, or certain jams. Anyways, I believe that any food adds value to the table as long as it is good quality. So that's what we should keep in mind. To end up with, I think good conversation is key to accompany a cheese table, so make sure you bring the right guests. Thanks to all the Parisian Vibe community for your time, and see you in Formaje.